Parsley, parsley, and parsley once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with vegetable of the day, the one and only parsley. So maybe you think parsley is a vegetable. Maybe you think it's an herb. Maybe you think it's a spice. Based on the picture, maybe you think it's cilantro, or maybe it's some type of spinach. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of parsley. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. So a lot of us are wondering, Coach D, what in the world is parsley? Well, guys, parsley is an herb. That's right, guys. I said it. Parsley is an herb from the same family as carrots, celery, cumin or cumin, dill, and anise. That's right. So for those of us who are wondering, what in the world do some of these herbs look like? Well, guys, just take a look at the picture, right? I'm showing you carrots, I'm showing you parsley, and some of the ones that are named right here. So there we have it, guys, a little bit of background information about the one and only parsley. Okay, more background information. Guys, did you know that there are two main types of parsley plants used as herbs in recipes? Well, let's talk about it. First is the curly leaf parsley, also called French parsley. The second type is called Italian or flat leaf parsley. Now, for those of us who are wondering, what do these two different parsleys look like? Well, guys, take a look at the picture. The curly leaf parsley is on the left, and the flat leaf parsley is on the right. Now, here's something that you probably didn't know. Although it's not seen very much in the U.S., there is a third type of parsley. That's right, guys. So we have not one, not two, but three different types. And the third type happens to be called Hamburg root parsley, which looks similar to its relative, the parsnip. Wow. So there we have it, guys. We now know that there are officially three different types of parsley plants. All right, now it's time for some fun facts. Parsley herb and parsley essential oil have been used as natural detox remedies, diuretics, and antiseptic and anti-inflammatory agents for centuries in folk medicine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this kind of gives a little bit of credence to the fact that herbs are not necessarily vegetables. Now, yes, you can definitely consume herbs, right? However, they're not mainly meant for consumption. Instead, they're mainly meant to serve as some type of medicinal aid. That's right. Why? Because they have medicinal properties. So there we have it, guys. Some fun facts about the one and only parsley. And let's not forget parsley oil. Okay, more fun facts. A lot of people may want to know, Coach D, can parsley be eaten raw? Well, guys, the short answer to that question is yes. You can eat both fresh and dried parsley. Now, have you ever thought about making a parsley smoothie? Well, hopefully you have. Okay, it has lots and lots of minerals, phytochemicals, vitamins, antioxidants, and of course we'll talk about those later. But guys, whether it's fresh or dried, you can still eat it, right? More fun facts. A lot of people want to know, when is the best time for parsley? In the US, this herb is usually available in spring and summer months at your local farmer's market. Now, not only will parsley be available at your local farmer's market, but of course it'll be available at your local grocery stores as well. Now, here's the most interesting part, is that if you decide to get it during the spring and summer months, that's probably when it's going to be its cheapest. Why? Because it's readily available. So there we have it, guys. A few more fun facts about the one and only parsley. Okay, more fun facts. A lot of people want to know, Coach D, what do I look for when I'm buying parsley? Well, guys, here's what you want to look for. Look for parsley that is bright green and doesn't have noticeable wilting or brown spots. Now, take a look at this picture. For those of us who want to know what wilting parsley looks like, there you have it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your parsley looks anything like this, I recommend you don't eat it. If you see it in the farmer's market and it looks like this, don't buy it. It's just that simple. So, make sure your parsley is a bright green, no brown spots, and definitely no wilting. All right, more fun facts. Now, for those of us who enjoy parsley quite a bit, or maybe you're just interested in buying just a little bit, you probably want to know, well, Coach D, how do I store it once I buy it? That's a logical question. So here's the answer. You can store parsley for usually up to 1 week. That's it. Prolong its freshness by first drying it and then wrapping it in a damp paper towel and putting it inside of a plastic bag in your refrigerator. It's better not to wash it until you're going to use it. This way it doesn't wilt and go bad quickly. That's right. Once you're ready to use it, give it a good wash or add it to a bowl of cold water and swish it around for a minute to get any dirt off. So there you have it, guys. We now know exactly how to store our parsley, and then we know what to do when we're ready to eat it and use it. So for those of us who are wondering how to store it, we now know the answer. So there we have it, guys. More fun facts about the one and only parsley. All right, now it's time for the not so fun facts. How much parsley is too much? Interesting. This herb contains a small amount of naturally occurring oxalates, which can sometimes be a problem for people with kidney stones or gout. Oxalates are found in certain plant and animal foods and usually don't pose a problem for most people, but for people who have compromised kidney or gallbladder function, they may want to be cautious if they notice any symptoms worsen while consuming parsley. So, ladies and gentlemen, moral of the story is this. Parsley is fine. However, if you have a history of kidney stones or gout, or perhaps you have gallbladder issues, then you may want to either reduce, eliminate, or talk to your doctor before consuming excess amounts of parsley. All right, more not so fun facts. A lot of people want to know, ladies, what happens when you eat too much parsley? Well, here we go. You'd have to consume at least several cups worth to have a negative effect. However, you might notice increased urination or a stomach ache if you eat it in excess. Excessive consumption should be avoided by pregnant women since it naturally has an effect on hormone levels and the menstrual cycle. So, ladies, if you're thinking about getting pregnant, or even if you are currently pregnant, right, then you definitely need to be aware that parsley can affect your hormone levels and your menstrual cycle. But other than that, it's pretty much okay. So there we have it, guys, the not so fun facts about parsley. All right, it's time to dive into the 5-20 rule, which is all about food labels. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food, beverage, or a condiment item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, when we talk about the 5-20 rule, really what we're talking about is percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label, shall we? As you can see, it is divided into 3 main parts: purple, yellow, and light blue. So at this point, we're going to go part by part by part. First up is the percent daily value column. Now, let's first notice that it is purple, right? And percent daily value is basically represented as a percentage. Now, here's what we need to know is that the percent daily value basically is a spectrum that goes as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now, there are some very rare cases where a food item or beverage item may offer a nutrient in excess of 100%, but those cases are rare. Now, let's take a look at the yellow portion, which basically highlights a few nutrients, such as total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Now, here's what we need to know about these little boogers, is that unfortunately, these nutrients do a really good job at promoting sickness, illness, and disease within the body temple. So if anything, you want to make sure that the percent daily value for these nutrients are as close to 0% as possible. That's why the sample food label says limit these nutrients. Now, let's take a look at the blue nutrients, such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron. Now, these nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote disease, sickness, and illness, they promote wellness and health within the body temple. So the next time you eat or drink something, you may want to make sure that the percent daily value of these nutrients are as close to 100% as possible. That's why the sample food label says get enough of these nutrients. Now, why is the 520 rule the 520 rule? Well, here's a very short answer to that question. As you can see here, based on our sample food label, it says that 5% or less is low versus 20% or more is high. Now, for some of us, that makes sense. To others, it doesn't. So allow me, Coach D, to expand on the 520 rule. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you eat or drink something that offers 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item offers 10% to 19% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right, now that we've covered the 520 rule, it's time for us to talk about the nutrition facts of parsley. So for today's lecture, we're going to say that a single serving of parsley is equal to 1 cup, or we can say 60 grams, of fresh, raw parsley. So in this single serving, 1 cup, we're going to get 21.6 calories, 3.8 grams of carbohydrates, 1.8 grams of good old plant protein. Now, notice that I have it highlighted in green because most people don't know that plant foods, in particular parsley, has protein. Well, guys, I'm here to let you know that it absolutely does. And here's the good thing about plant protein is that the body uses it to strengthen the immune system. The body uses it to build lean, mean muscle tissue. And the body also uses plant protein to grow more hair. Also, it has 0.5 grams of fat. And look at this, 2 whole grams of good old fiber. What I like to call nature's plumber, right? Why? Because it helps to keep our tubes clean, particularly your arteries and your colon. That's right, guys. It keeps the arteries free of cholesterol and it keeps the colon free of waste and toxins. Nice. Next up is vitamin K. Now look at this. Remember when we talked about the 520 rule and I said that there were some rare cases where the percent DV is greater than 100%? Well, ladies and gentlemen, look no more. Here is one of those very, very rare cases where a single serving of a plant food, of an herb, in particular parsley, is way over 100%. Guys, 1 cup of parsley is going to offer you 1,230% DV of good old vitamin K. Now, this is amazing. So what does this really mean? What it really means is that 1 cup can pretty much last you for 12 days. That's right, guys. 1 cup of raw parsley is going to provide you with 12 days worth of vitamin K. Amazing. Next up is vitamin C, coming in at 133% DV. So not only are these excellent sources of vitamin K and C, but these are super duper excellent sources of vitamin K and C. Next up is vitamin A, 101% DV. Right, so excellent source. Folate comes in at 23% DV, excellent source. Iron comes in at 21% DV, excellent source. But now there's a big drop off. Potassium comes in at only 9% DV, not a good source. Calcium, 8% DV, not a good source. Then we have magnesium, 7% DV, not a good source. And last but not least is manganese, coming in at only 5% DV. So there we have it, guys. The nutrition facts about the one and only parsley. All right, now that we've gone over the 520 rule and the nutrition facts, it's now time for us to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, Coach D wants to talk about something called the principle of cause and effect, which basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. Now, here's the reason why I bring up the principle of cause and effect, is that if you want to be healthy, well, you have to create it. That's right. And the best way that I know how is to put the right foods inside of your bodies. That's right. So in other words, guys, eat more plants. Why? Because plants have phytonutrients. Now, some people may consider these phytonutrients medicines. That's right. So here's what we have to understand, is that the health benefit technically is the effect, whereas the phytonutrients, or we can say the medicines, are the causes. So not only am I going to give you the health benefits, but I'm also going to let you know which phytonutrients are responsible for those health benefits. So here we go. Health benefit number 1, it is a high source of flavonoid antioxidants. So now the question is, which ones, Coach D? Well, guys, here we go. And I do apologize if I mispronounce any of these terms. First up is luteolin. Then we have apigenin. Then we have lycopene, beta carotene, and alpha carotene. Health benefit number 2, provides beneficial essential oils that fight cancer. Oh my God, how great is that? So now the question is, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to, here we go. I'll come back to the first one. We have limonene, eugenol, alpha-thugine, apigenin, and I'm going to try this once again, myristicin. There we go. All right, health benefit number 3, acts as a natural diuretic and helps relieve bloating. That's right. So the question is, what's the cause? Well, say hello to parsley seed extract. Benefit number 4, improves digestion and kidney health. What's the cause? Which medicine, right, is essential oil? Benefit number 5, has antibacterial and antifungal properties. Amazing, right? So what's the cause? Well, it's the essential oil that's in the parsley. That's right, guys. So there we have it. 5 amazing health benefits from the one and only parsley. Look, more health benefits. Number 6, helps reduce bad breath. Nice. Now the question is, how or why? Well, guys, parsley has antibacterial properties. Health benefit number 7, maintains bone density. So, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to vitamin K, calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D, and magnesium. Health benefit number 8, maintains a healthy gut environment. Perfect. So, which phytonutrients are responsible? Well, say hello to vitamin C and vitamin A. Benefit number 9, helps protect eye and skin health. Amazing. So, which phytonutrients are responsible? What's the cause? What's the medicine? Well, provitamin A, carotenoid, and beta carotene. Health benefit number 10, benefits the cardiovascular system. Which phytonutrient is responsible? Well, say hello to folate. And last but not least, we have benefit number 11 is that it helps balance hormones. How great is that? So, which medicine in parsley is responsible for this? Well, say hello to folate once again. So there we have it, guys. 11 amazing health benefits from the one and only herb called parsley. All right, it's time to talk about food, but in particular, plant foods. So I want to welcome you to forksoverknives.com, which, by the way, is our go-to website for everything vegan, right? Now, guys, there is a movie entitled Forks Over Knives, which I highly recommend you watch. Now, as usual, I went to the website, did just a little bit of research, and I came across 2 delicious plant-based parsley recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is entitled Creamy Carrot Soup. Take a look at the picture. Looks delicious, yes. Now, recipe number 2 is Creamy Pasta Primavera. Take a look at that picture for all of you pasta lovers, right? Looks delicious, yes. Well, here's the thing. If you are interested in making and tasting either one of these recipes, all you have to do is click on the description box. Why? Because I'm providing you with a direct link to both recipes. That's right, guys. Coach D is here to hook it up. Now, here's what you're going to find out once you click the link, is that it's going to take you directly to the site, and you're going to find a lot of great information, such as pictures, maybe videos, an ingredient list, and of course, cooking instructions, right? So what more could you ask for? So guys, do me a favor. Click on the description box, click the link, make the dish, taste your dish, come back to the video, and of course, share your thoughts. So there we have it. Not 1, but 2 delicious looking plant-based parsley recipes from forksoverknives.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts, the not so fun facts, the nutrition facts, and everything else, right? But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more parsley? Well, guys, if that's your question, then I got to tell you that the perfect day to eat more parsley is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Oh, yes. Good old Nature Day. Here's something that we need to know about Nature Day, is that Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, a lot of us may not know what the challenge is, and that's okay. But guys, the 23% challenge is basically a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. That's right, in only 7 days. Now, here are 2 more things that you need to know about the challenge. Number 1, it's monthly, meaning every month, January to December. And it's only 7 days, as I just said. But here's the thing. It's not any 7 days. It's actually the first 7 days of every single month. That's right. The first all the way through the 7th. Now, hopefully you get this part. Being that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, and being that the challenge is the first day of the first 7 days of every month, guys, Nature Day is the first day of every month. That's right. So whether it's June 1st, July 1st, or August 1st, it's always Nature Day. Okay, now, maybe I've piqued your interest, and so maybe you want to know more, right? Maybe you want to know, well, Coach D, what is Nature Day all about? Well, guys, in a nutshell, Nature Day is simply all about eating more plants. That's our 3-word mantra, eat more plants. Now, some people may find it easy. Some people may find it extremely difficult to eat more plants. So I'm going to talk to both types of people. For those of us who think it's hard, right? Well, guys, try eating only plants and drinking only water before 12 p.m. That way you can eat and drink whatever you want after 12 p.m. Or if before 12 p.m. doesn't work for you, then what about after 12 p.m.? Eating only plants and drinking only water. That way before 12 p.m. you can eat and drink whatever you want. Now, for those of us who think that 12 hours of plant foods and water isn't enough, and you may want to step it up just a little bit, well, guys, I want to maybe introduce you to a brand new concept. It's called becoming a 3% vegan, right? So, what is that? That's any person, man, woman, or child who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only one day out of an entire month. Next up is a 10% vegan, which is any person, man, woman, or child who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 3 days out of an entire month. Next up is a 17% vegan, which is a person, right, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is the ultimate 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself to be. And what does that mean? It simply means that for the first 7 days of every single month, I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, which happen to be fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, legumes, meaning beans and peas, and we cannot forget about whole grains. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about Nature Day. All right. Now, maybe you're intrigued. Maybe you want to do it, but maybe you're still on the fence. Why? Because you don't know if Nature Day is for you. You don't know if you should participate, right? So let's talk about who Nature Day is for. So maybe you have some physical or maybe some mental issues going on. And maybe you're the type of person who is tired of the doctor's visits. You're tired of the medications. You're tired of the surgeries, right? And so right now you're probably looking for a natural, holistic approach to your healing, right? So Nature Day is for you if you have any of the following issues. So maybe you have the big 4, such as heart disease, obesity, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. Maybe you have skin issues, such as eczema, psoriasis, pimples, whiteheads, blackheads. Maybe you have digestive issues like constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, or leaky gut syndrome, right? Or maybe you have mental issues. Maybe you're bipolar. Maybe you're depressed. Maybe you're angry and pissed off all the time. Or maybe you're just sad, right? Well, guys, it's easy. Eat more plants. Or maybe you want to change the way your body looks, right? Maybe you want to take off an inch or 2 from your hips and waist, right? So you may want to try our vegan lean program. Or maybe you want to put on some lean muscle mass, right? So try our vegan bulk program. Or maybe, just maybe, you just want to transition from the standard American diet to a more whole food plant-based diet, right? Well, guys, it's easy. Eat more plants. So there you have it. We now know exactly who Nature Day is for. All right, guys, it's time for Coach D's tips. I'm here to offer a little bit of help, a little bit of advice, ultimately a little bit of assistance to those of us who do want to participate in Nature Day. So tip number 1, go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're only going to go to one of 3 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. Number 3 is the canned good aisle. Now, why these 3 places? Well, because this is where you're going to find your plant foods, right? Now, a lot of people may say, well, Coach D, what's best, fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, here we go. Fresh is always first. Frozen is a very close second. And lastly is canned. Now, the reason why I put canned plant foods dead last is simply because the canning process is a way to process foods. And unfortunately, during this process, a lot of nutrients are destroyed. However, a lot of toxins are added. So unfortunately, whenever you eat canned foods, you may end up consuming more toxins than you do nutrients. Tip number 2, go visit the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. So when you're done with the produce aisle, the canned good aisle, and the freezer aisle, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Now, basically, this is where you're going to find someone standing behind a glass counter, right? And you're going to be able to see all these deliciously prepared dishes. Now, ask the person behind the counter if they have any vegan or plant-based options. And now, if you see something that you like, but maybe you don't know how it tastes, or maybe you don't know what it is, just go ahead and ask them for a quick sample. Don't worry, it's free. Now, the food is usually sold by the pound, so if you like it, go ahead and get a whole pound, maybe half a pound. And let's say maybe you're having a dinner party, right? Then go ahead and get 2 pounds, maybe even 3 pounds. Next tip is to visit your local farmer's market. Now, I highly recommend farmers markets for those of us who love organic this, organic that, non-GMO this, non-GMO that. Guys, farmers markets are the ideal place to purchase organic, non-GMO plant foods. That's right. And here's another good reason to shop at a farmers market is because the prices may be a little lower than at your local grocery store. Why? Because the food is grown locally by local farmers. Tip number 4, go ahead and eat, and I mean eat, at your local vegan restaurant. Now, some people may not know that vegan restaurants actually exist. Well, guys, I'm here to let you know that they actually do. And they are amazing. Why? Because they do a really good job at hiring vegan chefs who not only know how to cook plant foods, but they also know which plant foods to combine to yield the most delicious, nutritious dishes. And my last tip is to go get a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. Now, I recommend this for people who don't have time to cook plant foods, people who don't want to know how to cook plant foods, or people who just, for whatever reason, don't want to cook, right? So I say let someone else do the cooking for you. So here's how it goes. Give them a call, get the subscription. They make the food, they deliver the food, you eat the food. Yes, it's just that simple. So there we have it, guys. 5 amazing tips to help make your nature day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day. This comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% Nation. We have inquiry minds. So we want to know, how many types of parsley exist? Now, I believe I covered this information earlier in the lecture. So if you got it, good. Please write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. I'm signing out. But before I do, please subscribe, share, comment, and like the video, especially if you love parsley. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's #EatMorePlants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. As always, take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.